All right, everybody, it's Dr. Boxing Talk. I'm tuning in with the legendary trainer, Bob Santos. Yes, sir. I want to ask you some questions about this weekend. You have a prospect. I'm not too familiar with him. How do you think he's going to do this weekend?
Well,
tomorrow?
I got Sebastian Juarez, basically this weekend, moving into tomorrow night, which is Friday. But yeah, I got Sebastian Juarez. I think he's one of the best junior middleweight prospects in the business, you know. Mexican kid, durable, can box, was on Team USA, got a good amateur pedigree. So we're expecting a good performance tomorrow. Unfortunately, you know, the guy we're fighting missed weight by 4 pounds.
Yes, sir.
I don't know what kind of professionalism that is, but at the end of the day, we're going to get that victory tomorrow.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I have another question with you. I took a lot of heat for this. So I was watching Mario Barrios versus Manny Pacquiao, and I scored it 8 rounds to 4 for Barrios. How do you feel with the blowback with a lot of people saying that, oh, Pacquiao was robbed, or it could have been a draw at best for Barrios? How do you feel about that?
Well, you know, at the end of the day, anytime you really want to score a fight, turn the sound down.
Amen.
Okay? And then score the fight round by round.
Amen.
Don't score it with your heart, score it with what's going on. But I will say this with Pacquiao, he was trying to steal the end of every round, but people got to realize something. You may have seen the last 30 seconds, but as a judge, that shouldn't affect you. You're supposed to watch the whole 3 minutes in its entirety.
Exactly.
I thought we controlled the fight with a jab. The judges seen it the way that they seen it. But again, you got to score the fight for the whole 3 minutes. Not just 30 seconds at the end of the fight. I thought we landed the cleaner shots. I thought we landed the bigger shot. We stunned him a few times. He never stunned Barrios one time in the fight.
Yep, and I agree with you. I always say that to everybody. It's like a 12-round fight is 12 separate fights scored round by round, and you accumulate all those points up to see who won. And everybody that I've seen, whether it was Sean Porter or whether it was Andre Ward or whatever other pundit, they never gave me a scorecard. They just said, oh, I feel like Pacquiao won. It's like, you got to give me more than the feel. You have to actually score and tell me 8 rounds to 4, 7 rounds to 5, whatever it was. So I'm glad you said that.
Well, yeah, exactly. People don't realize this. When you score a fight, and you hear people always talk about, oh, the cleaner punches. Well, the cleaner punches to your eye as a fan is one thing. As a judge, if I land one headshot and you land one body shot, maybe the fan could see that cleaner, but the judge has to look at it. It was one punch for one punch.
Right.
And optics play a role sometimes. So it's Manny Pacquiao. He's coming back. He's doing better than we thought he was going to do.
Right.
And then you start to go by a feel. It's not by a feel.
Yeah.
Oh, but he did great for 47.
For 46,
Did he win the round? Did he win the fight?
Right.
So when you start making comments like that, he did great for a 46-year-old. Yeah, he did do great for a 46-year-old. But did he win the round?
Right. Now, I do have another question. I had a little critique for Mario Barrios. When Mario Barrios was fighting Pacquiao, it seems like sometimes he was being a little too kind to the older legend, you know, because I know a couple times Pacquiao was complaining about the lower shots to the body, and it seems like the ref did his stuff. And so I want to know, did you say anything to Barrios in the corner about ignoring what Pacquiao's complaints and just keep going for the body? Or?
Well, definitely in real time, I recognized, I told him in the corner, I said, son, we can't allow him to fight the fight and rep the fight. So in real time, I recognized it right away. I brought it to his attention.
Yes, sir.
But for whatever reason, I don't know if it was having too much respect for him. You know, looking back on it, I think if he had to do it all over again, he might not have showed him as much respect. I think he could have got the stoppage. But it is what it is. I still thought that we edged out the fight. And I think if we had to redo it again, I don't think he would show as much respect. Or we'd hope not.
Yeah, okay. Now speaking of redoing it again, my last one for you. What is next for Mario Barrios as the WBC welterweight champion? Is he going to pursue a Pacquiao rematch? Is he going to go for unification with Rolly Romero at WBA? Or what do you think he's going to do? Because we know WBO is occupied, right? Brian Norman and Devin Haney.
Yeah.
So that's probably out the question. IBF is who? That's vacant, right? With Patty Donovan and Louis Crocker for their rematch is going to be for the IBF. So what do you think is next for Barrios? Or what do you want next for Barrios?
Well, you know, at the end of the day, we always wanted the best for him, the best possible fights at this point in his career. He's been a 2-time world champion.
Absolutely.
I'd like to see him in the best possible fights at this point in his career. But that'll be up to Louis DeCubas Jr. and Al Heyman.
True.
You know, so they're the ones that guide the ship, and we take the marching orders. And my job is just to prepare him, get him ready, and win fights. And he's been a 2-time world champion in 2 different weight classes. And he still retained the title.
Yes, sir.
And so we'll see what's moving on forward for him.
Yes, sir, man. So thank you for your time.